Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Facebook Live. My name is Jessica Swan. I'm the Senior Manager for Higher Education here in the Americas. And I'm joined today by brilliant colleagues at Anglia Ruskin University and the University of Warwick. And today we're going to be talking to you about the scholarships for women in STEM. Before I kick off, what I would love for you to do is in the comment section, if you can let us know, maybe where you're coming from, maybe which area of STEM you're hoping to pursue your master's studies in. That would be great. We'd love to get to know a bit more about you. So the Scholarships for Women in STEM is a program that was launched last year by the British Council in collaboration with lots of UK universities. And what we're hoping to do through this scheme, or what we're doing through this scheme, is supporting women from around the world to continue their studies in STEM and pursue STEM careers. The scholarships cover pretty much all of your costs. So the scholarships will cover your tuition fees, accommodation. You'll get a monthly stipend so that you can pay for your books, your any materials, your course needs, food, everything. That we cover your visa costs, the transport costs as well. So it's a really comprehensive scholarship. And we're very excited that this year in the Americas, we're able to offer 25 scholarships to women in Brazil, Mexico, and Peru. And just to quickly talk about the eligibility criteria. So to be eligible for a scholarship for women in STEM, the basic criteria are that you're a passport holder and resident from one of those three countries, so Brazil, Mexico, or Peru. You're able to start your studies in the UK in September 2022, so this following academic year in the UK. You should be able to demonstrate a need for financial support, really showing us that, without this scholarship, you wouldn't be able to study a master's in the UK. You need to have your undergraduate degree and any other requirement needed to apply for the master's you want to apply for. And we're also really looking for women who are active in their field of work, and who are, also be really keen to be, very active alumni for the scholarship. So we'll be sharing in the comments a link to the British Council website where you can get more general information about the scholarship. But now I'm really pleased to pass on to my colleagues at Anglia Ruskin University and the University of Warwick, and they'll be telling you more about the programmes that they have on offer under this scheme, as well as the application requirements and timelines, everything that you'll need to know to make your application for this scholarship. So we're joined by Sam and Jen from Anglia Ruskin University, and from the University of Warwick we're joined by Rachel. And as a really special guests, we've also got with us Manpreet and Maria, who are current scholars under the Scholarship for Women in STEM, studying at the University of Warwick. So they're in the UK right now studying. And so they're going to be joining us as well to share with you a little bit about their experience in applying for the scholarships and studying in the UK, and giving you, their best tips. We're going to hear from both of the universities and Manpreet and Maria, and then it's over to you. We're really keen to answer as many of your questions as possible. So do be sending us your questions in the comments during the presentations, and we'll have hopefully a good 25 minutes for Q&A in about half an hour's time. So that's it from me. I'm now really happy to pass over to Jen from Anglia Ruskin University, who will be telling you more about the programs on offer at Anglia Ruskin. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you. Can you see the screen okay? Hopefully so. Yeah. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen then. Come over here. Do it this way. Right. So thank you very much to the British Council and to Jess for inviting us to come and speak with you today. I'm Dr. Jennifer Marte from Anglia Ruskin. I'm the academic lead for Women in Engineering. And joined with me on this call is Sam Poulton. He's our Senior International Manager for the Americas. So Anglia Ruskin has, for the last few years, it's been named as one of the top 350 universities in the world and also in the top 40 for the UK. And we're really pleased that in the last year, we've also been named for a couple of special awards. One was we were the finalist in the Outstanding Entrepreneurial University of the Year Awards last year. And we were also named one of the top 10 UK universities for international graduates for employment. So essentially what that means is the students that we have coming in, when they leave us, they're very good at finding jobs within their respective areas. So we're an innovative university with a proud history. We were founded in 1858, and at that point we were known as the Cambridge School of Art. But since that time, we've diversified the degrees that we have available, and we now have over 250 degree courses that students can enroll on. We're a vibrant, inclusive, and multicultural university. And as it says, we're also cross-campus. So we have campuses in London, in Cambridge, and in Chelmsford, although this is related to Chelmsford. We're one of 20 global rising stars in terms of global higher education excellence. And we've really been investing a lot of money recently in our technology and our equipment and our new building facilities. So we've invested over £115 million in the last few years into that. Specifically for you, when you come onto this course or into these degrees, you'll be joining the Women in Engineering group. Now, this is a group that meets regularly to discuss relevant issues to women, for example, low confidence in the classroom, working together in groups, or even balancing family life and academic life. We also bring in leading female engineers to come and speak to us on a monthly basis. And in our last meeting, we had 2 leading women from Dell come and explain to us what it's like to work in their field and within their areas. We also have mentoring schemes, which will be available to you. Some of these are in-house for Anglia Ruskin, but some of them are more wider reaching. So our latest mentoring scheme is with STEM Aspire, and that was another scheme that the ladies from Dell were telling us about in our last meeting. So you've heard a little bit about what you'll get if you're successful, how your tuition will be paid for, accommodation, food, and airfare, that sort of thing. In addition to those things being covered, Anglia Ruskin also has a £2,000 bursary, which you can use to support your wider career development while you're studying here with us in the UK. So that's something we're really excited about, that extra £2,000 bursary. So in terms of location, here's Britain for you. London's down here, and I said we had multiple campuses. There's Cambridge up here, but we're in Chelmsford, which I've circled in red just to make it easier to see. And what you can tell is that we're relatively close to London. So there's a train that goes in often. It takes about 35 minutes to get into Liverpool Street. We also have a fairly local airport up here in Stansted. And Stansted has lots of regular flights over to Europe and further afield. And that could also be quite useful for you while you're here. Here's a picture of the city centre in Chelmsford. So this has been redone fairly recently with lots of new shops with names you've probably heard of. It's a really vibrant city, but it's also got a historical background. So it's in the county of Essex, and it's one of the first Roman settlements that was here within Britain. We're not far away from Colchester, for example. But in terms of being a city, we're actually relatively young. So we were only given the title of a city back in 2012. And we've been growing since then. You may have heard of Chelmsford as the birthplace of radio, and that's because Marconi, who came up with radio, he had his his workshop here in town. It was just down the street from where the university is now. And in fact, the engineering building on campus is named after him. So if you hear me talk about the Marconi building, that's the engineering building and it's named after him. Chelmsford is also named one of the top 10 cities to live in the United Kingdom by the Sunday Times newspaper. And I think one of the best things about Chelmsford is that we're relatively close to London. And so it's easy to go in, for a night if you want to go see the theatre or you want to go shopping or you want to go to a museum. It's easy to get into London. It's quick. It's relatively cheap. But then you have the ability to come out of London again to live in an area where, there's lots of green spaces, a little bit more laid back, but also more affordable. So the, accommodation's cheaper, food is cheaper, that sort of thing. So that's a little bit of background of Chelmsford as a city. In terms of Chelmsford as a campus, I've got some pictures up here. So this is our medical school. It was built a couple of years ago, so it was part of that investment of the new buildings that we've got. And this is the Lord Ashcroft building over here. So some of our teaching facilities with a nice area you can sit out front. And this one down here is Marconi. So this is the engineering building, and engineering is housed within here. The campus is very close to the city center. It's only a 10-minute walk away. It actually might be a little bit closer than that. And we do have this dedicated building in Marconi. And then within that, we have some computer simulation suites that have high-spec computers that you can use while you're here. It also has engineering-specific software, which you'll be able to use during your courses. We also have some engineering studios that you can go into while you're designing the various products that might be related to your course. And then we also have workshops where you can manufacture those things that you've just designed. And those will all be available to you. We also have the more, standard things that almost every university will have. We've got a library space for you. You can book individual or group study rooms to work together. We've got restaurants and cafes, lots of outdoor spaces. We have our own gym. Actually, we have a couple of gyms. We've got a medical center, a really active employment bureau. You'll be talking about employability quite a lot while you're here because we have a really strong focus on employability. And we also have finance and accommodation offices. In terms of accommodations, here's some pictures of our student village. So you can see some of the rooms here, and this is the outside of the building. Most of our rooms are single occupancy. Some of them are ensuite and some of them aren't. We also have studio flats that are available. And down here, you can see one of the communal areas where some of the students can get together and cook meals, sit and relax, talk about their courses, watch TV, etc. But these are really close to campus. It's only a few minutes walk from the accommodation over to the classrooms. And it's got 24-hour security and there's various eating places around it. So it's quite a nice place to live. In terms of what you would be studying while you're with us, we've got 4 MSc courses that you can choose between. One of them is electronic and electrical engineering, and you can see one of the lab spaces here. So we've got a lot of electronic equipment that you can use. We also have an MSc in mechanical engineering, and you can see some of the mechanical engineering workshop here. And we also have MScs in engineering management and construction management. You can see one of the classrooms here where they're talking about a building that they're going to be creating. Now, each of these courses are accredited and certified by the various professional bodies. So we have IET and we have IMechE. We also have CIOB and RICS. I've already shown you some of the technology that we have within the lab, but there's others as well. So, for example, we have lots of 3D printing facilities, lots of additive manufacturing. And we've worked really hard to build up our links with some of the local industry. So we've had historically really, really good links with Ford Motor Company. So many of our staff members go and work with Ford for a while, and we have a lot of Ford students come in. And we're also building up our links to E2V. And these companies, we don't just have links with them, they actually come into the classroom and they help us deliver some of the modules. So if there's something that they're working on and they want some student help with it, then they bring those projects into our classrooms, and that becomes part of what you're learning and what you practice while you're with us. So we're trying to make everything as directly applicable to you as we can. In terms of entry requirements, we've written some of them down here below. So we've got some entry requirements specific to Brazil and some specific to Mexico. I'll give you a few seconds just to read through those. And in addition to those entry requirements, we also have some English entry requirements, and they're down here at the bottom. So you can see we have a requirement of a 6.5 with a minimum of 5.5 in each of those individual bands, or an equivalent test. And in terms of key dates, what you would do if you wanted to apply to join us, first you need to apply for your preferred course. And when you do that, you'll be given a number, a student applicant number, and that's what you'll need to fill in on a second application, which is specific to the scholarship. And so you'll need to fill in those applications and send them to Sam Poulton, and his email address is here, but it's also going to be at the end, so don't worry if you don't get a chance to write it down now. But you have to send the application to the course and to the scholarship to Sam before the end of our day on the 4th of April. And then what we're going to do is tell the successful applicants that they've been successful in early June. So you should be hearing back from us around then. But thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to explain to you some of the things we have available at ARU. I've got my email down here. I'm Jennifer Marte if you have any questions for me. And there's also various ways that you can get in touch with Sam Poulton over here. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If everything is okay, then I will carry on with my bit. So hello everybody, welcome to today's session. My name is Rachel, as Jessica introduced at the beginning, and I'm from the University of Warwick. I'm the Student Recruitment Officer for Latin America, and so I am the main point of contact for anything that you need in relation to the University of Warwick and your further studies in the UK with us. With me today, as has already been mentioned, we've got two of our current scholars. Very excited to be able to have them with us. That's Manpreet and Maria. So they'll be giving you a bit of insight into their experiences and how they have found things both with the scholarship and also life on Warwick's campus as we go through. So this just to give you an idea of what I'll be covering, who we are, where we are, what we offer, and then some of the conditions, as colleagues Anglia Ruskin have just mentioned, in relation to the courses that this scholarship is applicable to and the entry requirements for those. So the University of Warwick is in the city of Coventry in the UK. For anyone who doesn't know much about the UK itself, Coventry is in an area called the West Midlands in the UK, and Midlands being middle, one of the great things about living at the university and in Coventry is that we're really well located in the country for travel around the rest of the UK. So the campus itself is 20 minutes away by bus from Coventry city centre, and once you're in Coventry, we are 1 hour by train from the centre of London. We are 20 minutes away from Birmingham. We are maximum 3 hours away from some of the other major cities as well, which are all accessible by train. So that's Liverpool, Manchester, Bristol, Southampton. So really well connected. And if experiencing other parts of the UK is something that you're interested in doing during your studies, then Coventry in the Midlands is a really good place to start to be able to do that. In addition to rail network, we do also have good road networks in terms of our motorway network in the Midlands, but also our closest airport is Birmingham, and that has really good connections to Europe and then to international flights beyond. So that is Frankfurt, Madrid, Paris, Amsterdam, for all of the international connections that you would be using for travel to the UK. This is a quick overhead view of our campus. The campus itself covers quite a large site in the city. We have 27,000 students on our campus, and that is across all levels of study. So that's foundation, undergraduate and postgraduate students, and they are made up of 145 different nationalities. That's how many different nationals we have represented on campus. Our diversity is something that we are very proud of and very pleased with, and that is something that is quite visible when you are on and around campus as a student experiencing day-to-day life, and hopefully something that you'd be able to experience certainly from Mexico and Brazil too. We have 75 different sports clubs We have a brand new sport and wellness hub that a lot of those activities are able to take part in. That has a rock climbing wall inside. We've got a new swimming pool. There are also leisure facilities as well. So if anybody is interested in keeping fit, that's all available on our campus. And in addition to that, we have a brand new arts centre that has just had a refurbishment and reopened. That has got cinema screens inside. There is a theatre for external productions to take place, all accessible for our students. And then from the rest of the map, you can see that we do have all the essentials as well, all in the heart of campus and not too far away from our accommodation blocks. So our Students' Union, our library, and some of the main buildings that you would see for your lectures and studies during your time with us. In addition to the 75 sports clubs, we have over 250 different student societies. We have so many because our students are encouraged and welcomed to create new societies if they have a group of friends who would like to join in for some that we don't have established. Just an example of some of the range of societies that we have. We have some music-based ones. There is kind of hip hop and rock, and there's also dance-based. So there's a salsa society. We have academic ones, certainly, and we do have a Women in Engineering society that I'm not sure if Manpreet and Maria are part of, or might be able to explain a bit more about. But then we do also have some others. So there's a Game of Thrones. We have a Taylor Swift society I learnt this week. They grow all the time and just show kind of the diversity of options that we have available on campus for our students. Our campus has 14 different halls of residence across the whole campus. Halls of residence also accommodation, and so each option is available depending on cost and also facilities that you would like to live in. The images shown just give you an example of some of those. I can see Lakeside, there's also Westwood on here. They are in villages and they are on the outside of campus, so all of the teaching facilities are in our central campus area and the accommodation is just on the outside. But we do have lots of options available for our postgraduate students, and on campus is available for some postgraduate students, or we do have off-campus accommodation if that is something that you would prefer as well. The University of Warwick has been consistently ranked in the top 10 UK universities since the rankings were first established. This is an example of some of the rankings that we have for 2022. So we were ranked 6th in the UK by The Guardian, 8th by the Times Good University Guide, and 9th by the Complete University Guide. We are also very proud of our University of the Year for Teaching Quality Award for 2022 by the Good University Guide, and also voted University of the Year runner-up for the same 2022 guide. That's indicament of the efforts of both our students but also our teaching staff as well, and each department kind of has their own strengths that they are able to recognise and are reflected in some of those rankings as well. In addition to UK rankings, we are also ranked as one of the world's top 100 universities. So we were ranked 61st by QS for 2022, 78th by the Times Higher Education, and we were recognised for our diversity and inclusion for being voted 20th most international in the world by QS in 2022 as well. One of the things that is important to us at the university, and we know is reflective in feedback that we get a lot from our students, is offering space to learn. We are currently having lots of new buildings and lots of spaces opening on campus at the moment. We've recently had our brand new Faculty of Arts building open, and I've already mentioned our Art Centre has had a refurbishment. This picture is taken in our Oculus building, which opened 2 or 3 years ago now. But one of the things that we're incorporating is open spaces for students to study collaboratively together with. That's something that's really important to our students, and so that's something that we are trying to encourage and actively pursue in our building arrangements. I know that when I visited our Faculty of Arts building a couple of weeks ago, this is certainly something that was on show. All of the tables were booked out, because it's a nice space to learn and study alongside friends without the formal setting of the library or the quiet zone in certain seminar rooms and things. So that's something that we are keen to develop and grow as we progress in the next 5 to 10 years. As a member of the Russell Group in the UK, we are led by research in what we offer and what we teach in our courses and programs. This is just some of the work that has been carried out on campus by our team, and the interdisciplinary approach to our research is shaping our current world. So these are just some of the areas that we cover, and some of that is included in some of the academic departments that you will hopefully be able to apply to. So food, habitability, cybersecurity, behaviour and society, all innovative manufacturing, and something that hopefully is of interest and that you will help support and contribute towards us as we grow with, particularly with this scholarship opportunity. The university is also highly sought after for employment opportunities for our students. We were the 6th most targeted university by the UK's top 100 employers. I'd say our students are the most targeted rather than us as an institution, but the experience and the opportunities that students have at Warwick is something that is sought after by employers, and so we have a dedicated careers team on our campus who run multiple sessions throughout the year to be able to support you in anything that you would like to achieve kind of post course with us at the university. This includes careers fairs, employer presentations. We have one-to-one appointments and preparation, CV writing workshops, and particular employers do come in maybe 3 or 4 times a year to present their opportunities to our students. And so that's something that you would be able to get involved with. Just a little bit about the scholarship that we've mentioned. As Jessica mentioned at the start, these are some of the conditions. I won't read them all. They are available on each of the websites. We have 5 at the University of Warwick. Our closing date is the 10th of April, so that is different to colleagues at Anglia Ruskin. Again, that's midnight UK time, so please do check for local times ahead of the closing date to make sure that you have submitted that application in time. We do also require that you have submitted the application for the programme of study before you apply to the scholarship. So you will need to submit your academic application so that you receive your unique 7-digit Warwick ID before you can then apply for the scholarship. I would always recommend that you leave 48 hours as a minimum to enable yourself to go through our systems so that that number is generated to enable you enough time to apply for the scholarship. So if our closing date is the 10th of April, I would give yourself at least 5, if not 7 days before that date, and then apply for the scholarship to make sure that you have everything in place ready for both the application for the course and the scholarship. And here is a list of the courses that we have available at the university. So in our School of Life Sciences, we've got environmental bioscience, we've got sustainable crop production, food security, which Manpreet and Maria are on. We have medical biotechnology and business management, biotechnology, bioprocessing and business management. In engineering, we've got humanitarian, biomedical and electrical power engineering. We've got intelligence manufacturing systems, sustainable automotive electrification, which I have seen a question about from somebody in the chat, which is great, and also healthcare operational management, all in our Warwick Manufacturing Group, WMG department. And then also our final one is the MASc in Global Sustainable Development in our School for Cross-Faculty Studies. So that's the list of courses that you are eligible for an application to this scholarship with us at Warwick. Quick summary of the entry requirements. So for Brazil, we require a minimum of a 7.5 or 75 if we ask for a 2-1 or upper second class honours, 6.5 or 65 if it's a 2-2. For Mexico, It is an 8.5 for an upper second class honours or 2-1, or a 7.5 for lower second class honours and 2-1. Each course that was listed on the list does have different entry requirements. So if you aren't sure, please do get in touch with us before you submit your application, so that we're happy to have a look and check that for you, because it does differ by course and department as to which one we would accept as the minimum. And similarly, our English requirements do differ by course. So at Warwick, we have what we call Band A and Band B. They have different entry requirements, and each course has a different band associated to it for English language. So some may ask for an overall of 6.5 with no less than 6 in each component for IELTS as an example. And some ask for Band B, which is an overall of 7.0 with no more than 2 components at 6 or 6.5 and 2 at 7 or above. If anybody has any questions, then please do let me know. I know that that's a lot to process. And similarly, we do also accept alternatives to IELTS, so Pearson, TOEFL, and others are available. This is a quick summary of this is my email address. There's also our team one. So if you do need to get in touch and would like to find out more, then you are welcome to. We have a postgraduate open day that's taking place in April for anyone who would like to find out more about life on campus. I run one-to-one sessions if anybody would like to book an appointment. And also the final link here is that we have some student profiles available of our current Women in STEM scholars. That's that final link there. So if you would like to read a bit more after today's session with Manfred and Maria about what life is like as a Women in STEM scholar, then you are welcome to have a look and do so on our pages there. And I will now hand over to both Manfred and Maria, who hopefully will be able to give you the student insight into how they have found the process and their experiences as life as a scholar so far. Thank you.
Hello, hi everyone. I'm Manpreet from India, and I'm studying MSc Food Security at the University of Warwick.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria and I'm from Pakistan and I'm studying environmental biosciences in a changing climate.
And this scholarship has been everything we've ever dreamed of. The campus life here, the curriculum that we are studying right now is just incredible. So we've been through the process last year and we realize how tough it can be in terms of, you have these expectations and then the application process can be quite daunting, and how it comes through can also be a bit scary. But it really helps you put things into perspective of how you want your future to look like. And that really has been my takeaway from all the application process so far. It helps you decide what you want to pursue, how you want to go about with your career choices in the future, and the kind of employment you sought to seek again in the future. And living here in the UK has been amazing. We also reside on campus, so the accommodation halls are offer interactive spaces, and there's a lot of diversity, a global exposure that we've encountered since we've arrived here. Our professors are so welcoming and they allow us to make our mistakes and grow and learn from them. And I've seen my development not only in terms of an academic perspective, but even personality. And I think that's something that has really helped me grow as a person. And yeah.
So the courses that are provided under this scholarship are really amazing, like the sustainability courses. So I guess it's really amazing being here, and the amount of support provided by the British Council and the Warwick is enormous. And I think we should go for the question answers. Yeah, if you have any question related to the campus or the courses,
or how the life is
yeah,
like.
so go
Yeah.
ahead, guys. Yeah.
Super. Thank you both so much. And thank you, Rachel and Jen as well. So we've got a few questions that have come in already. If anyone has any more questions, please send them in through the comments and we'll be able to pick them up and ask them live over the next 25 minutes. It's precisely finished completely on the time that we were scheduled, so that's good. The first question that I'd like to ask is a question from Elisa from Brazil, and she says, can you talk about what you expect to find in a good personal statement? So I think if Jen, you could take it first, and then Rachel, I think we can probably hear from both of you on that. So what are you looking for in a good personal statement?
Yeah. Well, we're looking for somebody who's just really excited about engineering, somebody who's really keen to learn more about it on the master's level, has already gone through undergrad, and wants to come and join us in the UK. So, yeah, somebody who's really keen.
Rachel, what would you add?
I think I'd just add engagement and enthusiasm for the course as well. So it's very similar to what Jen has just said, but why you would like to study that course and why you would like to study it at your chosen university. Master's study is obviously very specific, so you will be looking at particular areas in your chosen field. So what is it about that course at Warwick or Anglia Ruskin that you feel will help your career progression, but also support your ambitions and further learning, and then how that will help you once you have completed your studies. So how will the course that you are studying help you once you've graduated? That's something that I think everyone who reads the personal statements is primarily looking for. So yeah, why, where, and how it will help.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much. The next question, I think I can probably answer from a British Council scholarship perspective. And it's from, and I'm really sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, Ligeli Medeiros. And she asks, does the programme offer a full student scholarship? And so, yes, this scholarship is really comprehensive. It covers your tuition fees, your living costs. You've got a stipend, so you can cover your course materials, for example. And also, there is kind of planned within the scholarship budget. If you are a mother and you're the primary salary earner in your family, and you would want to travel with your children, there is some budget to cover. I think travel up to 2 children can come with you, and you get an additional stipend each month, so additional amount of money each month that will help you cover, the additional living costs that you obviously incur by having a child or children. So yes, your answer is yes, it is a full scholarship. I can see lots more questions coming in now. That's brilliant. Keep them coming. Where should we go for next? Okay, so Gabriela Beltran asks, once we have an unconditional offer from one of the universities, what are the dates to receive if we've been selected or rejected? Is there a timeline for the dates? So I think that's talking about, knowing when you'll find out about this. Well, I guess maybe first of all, how long will people have to wait to find out whether they hear an answer from the course, and then from the scholarships? And it's good to understand as well and be clear, do people need to have a conditional or unconditional offer from a course before applying for the scholarship, or can they apply for both at the same time? So, Sam, I might go to you first because we've not heard from you yet. So Sam is joining us also from Anglia Ruskin. So Sam, if you could answer from Anglia Ruskin, and then Rachel, it'd be great to hear that from Warwick's point of view as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, and hello everyone. It's nice to well, I can't see you all, but nice that you've all joined us. So yeah, I'm great to be here. In terms of this question specifically, in terms of deadlines, obviously we mentioned, or Jen mentioned previously, that our deadline is the 4th of April. But obviously prior to that, I think it's very important that you think about how you are going to submit your application, having everything in place. and applying for the course is an important part of that, as Jessica said. So making sure that you do apply in advance and in a lot of time in advance of the scholarship deadline is a good idea. Making sure that you've got all of your documents together, and as long as you've got everything together, so if you've got your English language, you've got your transcripts and certificates and your personal statement and other documents, we should be able to turn around an offer fairly quickly, and our team is ready in admissions to support turning around those offers fairly quickly. But it doesn't mean sort of leave it to the last minute and sort of submit your application on the 4th of April. Obviously, the earlier you can apply for the courses, the better. You don't need to have a conditional offer in order to apply for the scholarship. We just require that you have submitted your application and got a student ID number. So once you've submitted your application for the course, you'll get a student ID number and you can put that onto the scholarship application. We do ask that all students have an offer, so you need to have provided proof of English and met all of your conditions by the 25th of April, I believe it is. So even though the deadline is the 4th of April, we still have some time to get your offer through. So make sure you send all your documents in after. And I think, yeah, it'll be very similar as Warwick mentioned in terms of their deadlines, but I'll leave it for them to sort of suggest what theirs are directly as well.
Yeah, it's very similar. So we, as is the 10th of April, rather than the 4th, as Sam has just mentioned, for the scholarship application, very similar. We do need you to have applied for the academic course before you submit your scholarship application. So we have in the past had a number of students apply to the scholarship without having a Warwick ID. We need that in order to be able to assign your application to you. So please do make sure you apply for the academic first before the scholarship. We are similar to Anglia Ruskin in that the English language condition needs to have been met by the 25th of April in order for you to be considered for the scholarship. So our decisions can take up to between 4 and 6 weeks for a decision of your application. So obviously it's not 4 to 6 weeks between the 10th and the 25th of April. So if you are leaving it to the last minute to apply, which we absolutely don't recommend that you do, then that's a very short time period for you to submit your English language evidence. So make sure you have a look at which tests each university considers, not just myself, everybody in the scheme. Make sure you know which ones we accept. If yours is out of date, make sure you know which ones you can take or that don't meet the requirements that you can retake so that you meet that deadline in time, because we can't move on the 25th of April. So I think it's really important that you have a look at those and make sure that you factor that in when you're considering timelines for submitting your application. So maybe work backwards. So the 25th is the absolute, you've got the 10th, and then if it's maybe 4 weeks, then that's the 10th of March. Do you need to submit in the next 4 to 6 weeks? So that would be my advice.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much. Very comprehensive answers there. And I think, the takeaway is if you're wanting to apply for the course as soon as you can, and make sure you've got your tests booked for your English requirements. Super. So a question for Warwick. So Flora asks, Warwick has some masters in interdisciplinary methodologies. Are they counting as masters in STEM? I'm interested in something related to human-computer interaction.
Thanks for your question. We do have courses in interdisciplinary methodologies. Unfortunately, they are not part of the British Council Women in STEM scholarship scheme. We may have alternatives available that aren't part of this scholarship scheme. You're welcome to get in touch with us. Latin America at warwick.ac.uk is fine, and we'll be able to help support you. But for this instance, unfortunately, it's not part of this, I'm afraid.
Thank you very much. And just to say that in the comments, we've shared the links to both Anglia Ruskin's and Warwick's landing page, their website, for this scheme. And on those pages, you will have the information about exactly which programs are included in this scheme. Okay, so there's a couple of questions that I think I can take because they're kind of more broad kind of scholarship program questions. Alebere asks, are there short courses or are there just master's degrees? And for this scheme, we're just including master's scheme. So it's full-time master scheme studied in the UK. And then there's a question from Leah, who asks, when will the next call be? And I'm assuming that's asking for the next round of scholarships if you're maybe not ready to apply this year. We can't guarantee anything, but absolutely the plan is that this is going to be, an annual scheme. We will have, another round of scholarships available sort of this time next year. But, every year different universities will participate in different regions. So, it's not necessarily going to be exactly the same number of scholarships, not necessarily the same number, same universities, the same courses, but there should be another scheme open, opening for January next year, January 2023. And they're always, just to say as well, that they're always for the courses that begin in September or October. So we're always working to that academic calendar under these scholarships. Super. So there's a question from Paula, who asks, do the courses have a determined time to finish them or complete them? So I believe all of them are 1-year master's degrees. Is that correct? Yeah. So these will all be courses that you start in September or October, depending on the start dates of each university, and you'll be finishing them by around June, July time. You'll be graduating. Are they also the correct dates for both Anglia Ruskin and Warwick?
So our official dates would be the 3rd of October 2022 to the 2nd of October 2023. Graduation is usually January the following year. So it will be almost a full 365 for us for the master's courses at Warwick.
Yeah, and ours are similar. So they run on 3 trimesters. So they would start in September and then finish late summer of the next year.
Okay, so ignore what I said. I don't know anything about when the course is finished. But yes, so it'll be a year long, but it's a year-long course. Brilliant. And another question from Paula, who asks, what level of English do we need? Maybe Sam, if you can take it for Anglia Ruskin.
So typically, I think we just give general English level requirements from an IELTS perspective. So for those students that aren't taking IELTS, as Rachel mentioned earlier, there are other English tests available. But we typically ask for 6.5 with a minimum of 5.5 in each band. So in each section of those, we would require a minimum of 5.5. But this is a 6.5 overall is kind of the minimum requirement. So obviously the better you have is obviously very important, but that is kind of the minimum we would ask for.
At Warwick, as depends on the course that you're applying for. So in our School of Life Sciences and Engineering courses, that would be overall 6.5 with no less than 6.0 in each of our components. And then for some of our other courses, and that does vary, it could be what we call Band B, so that's an overall of 7.0 with only a minimum of 2 at 6 or 6.5 and then 2 at 7 or above. So if you have, as an example, if you have an overall of 7.0 but you've got 3 at 6.5, you would need to retake a test, but those are the requirements for English, depending on the course that you're applying to at Warwick.
Brilliant, thank you ever so much. Super. So we've still got a few questions that are coming through. We've got about 10 minutes left on the call, so if you haven't asked your question and you're thinking about submitting it, just send it in the comments, and we've still got time to get to you today. So the next question comes from Carolina. So she explains that she's already applied for some courses at Edinburgh and Southampton, but she wants to apply for this scholarship. And so her question is, can she still apply, and what does she need? So I think we've probably answered this in other parts of the call, but Sam, do you want to give a quick overview of what's needed to apply, or Sam or Jen? Either one of you from ARU, and then Rachel, if you could also summarise from Warwick. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm happy to talk about the applications process. So I think you can apply directly to the university. So we mentioned that you have to make the application to the course before you apply for the scholarship. So if you have applied for other universities, but not necessarily for a scholarship, you just applied for the course at Edinburgh and Southampton, of course, you're welcome to apply for the university and apply for the scholarship. But make sure that you don't accept multiple places at multiple institutions, of course. So I think the key thing for us, and particularly those that are looking for the scholarship at other institutions, is that you get maybe two choices, but it's obviously very important that your first choice is where you want to go. So make sure that you may want to look at different institutions, you may want to consider where you want to go and where you want to apply, but I'd probably as early as possible make that decision on what your first choice is and make that clear on the application, because that's going to be something we're looking for, is that you're clearly committed to studying that course with us, and you're going to be an excellent advocate for the British Council. So make sure that that's included in your application. So that's probably what I would go with.
Very similar. So applications are still open for the courses that we have. Some of the courses at Warwick can close early. That's not the case for any of these. So we are still open for each of the courses that are mentioned. As Sam kind of briefly covered, it's different at postgraduate level at the UK. Undergraduate's relatively easy because it's UCAS. You submit one, they all get the same one. Whereas, you can apply to multiple universities at postgraduate level because we all have separate systems. So you are welcome to submit an application to us for consideration. But as you said, just make sure you consider that carefully in terms of which courses meet what you're looking for and what you're hoping to get out of the scholarship as well. So yes, we are open. And if you need anything else, then get in touch.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much. So there's just one final question, and then I'm really keen to bring Manpreet and Maria back on as well. So I think I can probably answer quite quickly. So Gabriella just asks, when they'd hear back about the scholarship. And so just to be clear, you won't hear back from the British Council, you'd hear from the university about whether you're successful or not. And I'm assuming this will probably be around, in May time, I'm assuming, if both of your deadlines for, all the requirements are at the end of April. Would that be right? Super. In which case, early June for Anglia Ruskin. Yeah, early June will be when you'd hear back about the scholarship. Super. So Jenna, I've got my colleague Jenna's on the line as well, helping with all the technical work backstage. So Jenna, brilliant. If you can put Maria and Manpreet back on the line, that would be great. So thank you both so much for staying with us. I would just like to ask, what if you could give, one tip for women who are on the line thinking about applying, what would your tip be for them in terms of writing their personal statement as part of the application?
So at least I would believe that you should show how keen you are on applying for the course that you're applying to, and this can be through anything. You can maybe demonstrate it through your module choices in your undergraduate, your internships, any other extra courses that you've done, or projects that you've undertaken, anything simply that actually really just expresses how much you want to study and how it can help you in your career ahead.
Yeah. So just construct your personal statement, like what you did in your undergrad, and what really motivates you, and what are you passionate about in the future about this particular course, and it really helps you. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your work experience related to it? So that's really matter. Yeah.
Super, thank you both very much. And another question, maybe, okay, so once you both arrived in the UK and started studying, maybe could you share maybe one thing that you didn't expect to happen, or you didn't expect, you weren't kind of, yeah, what was one thing that surprised you maybe about studying in the UK?
I would like to say the weather.
Really surprising.
I mean, yeah, but otherwise, I think the people are really welcoming and they're very supportive of what you do, what you want to achieve from this degree, and in general, interactions with everyone, be it on university or off campus. It's just, and the different perspectives, the different people you meet from different countries, and I think that's something that.
Yeah, Warwick has really diverse population, and it's a nice thing. I think COVID restriction are quite really unpredictable part about your whole journey. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's really nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the best thing.
Fantastic. And I think probably, yeah, one more question. And then I think, yeah, we'll probably be closing for today. So I guess, yeah, I'd just like to know, what are your, maybe what each of you are planning to do after you graduate, and how, maybe just a quick word on, how do you feel like this scholarship will help you to realize those plans or those dreams?
So this scholarship has really helped me understand what I want to do in the future, and I'm still dabbling between either looking for employment or PhDs. But I think my end goal is always to serve the home country that I come from, and be through either PhD education, research, or employment. But yeah, this scholarship has really helped me with that clarity, and
It really shaped your experience of studying and working here. I mean, it's a huge opportunity. It's great.
yeah.
Amazing. Thank you both so much. And so that is all we have time for today. Thank you ever so much to everyone who's been very active in the chat. We've loved getting your questions. And just to let you know that we have one more session tomorrow with the universities of Bristol and Nottingham, who are also participating in this Women in STEM Scholarships programme. It's at the same time, so 5 p.m. UK time, which is 11 a.m. In Mexico and 2 p.m. in Brazil. So yeah, if you definitely come and join us again tomorrow, learn about the other programs that are on offer, and you'll have more chances to ask your questions there. But yeah, thank you ever so much to Sam, Jen, Rachel, Manpreet, Maria, Jenna, who's in the background, and to all of you who've been joining us today in this live session. Thanks ever so much, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.